Finance Ways and Means meeting to order. And if you would, if you have your personal cell phones or mobile devices, if you would, please silence them at this time. And we'll begin with a roll call, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Here.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Here.
Commissioner Bray, here, Commissioner Peterson,
Here.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Here.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Here.
Commissioner Francisco.
Here. If you would, please all rise if you can and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. So before I ask for a motion to adopt the agenda, there will be two adjustments, changes, modifications to the agenda. On the second page, under Jesse Osmer, County Administrator, the RRS invoice, we will pull that. That will not be acted on today. So please delete that. But we will also add as a budget adjustment for the Plaza Pool, and I'll have the administrator address that when we get to that item on the agenda. Add budget adjustment for the Plaza Pool, if you would, please. So with that, those two changes to the agenda, I'll look for a motion and support to adopt the meeting. I have a motion from Commissioner Peterson. Support from Commissioner LaHaye. Any further discussion on the agenda? If not, to approve the modified agenda, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried. The agenda is adopted. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 minutes for public comment. If you wish to address the Board of Commissioners, please rise and approach the podium and state your name, if you would, please, for the record. Public comment, anyone? Public comment, anyone? Anyone on Zoom for public comment? Nope. Since we don't have anyone wishing to address public comment, I will close public comment and move on to the first action item for bills to pay. You have the bills in your packet that you received. I'll look for a motion to accept or to pay the bills. I have a motion from Commissioner LaHaye. Do I have support?
I'll support.
I have support from Commissioner Bray. Any discussion on bills to pay?
Yeah, I got one on the runway maintenance under airport. LS Concrete.
I had the same thing, and I think Jesse was gonna reach out
Okay.
to Steve after the meeting.
Yeah, because I figured he'd be here for his agenda item.
Is he online?
Yes.
Steve Smigelski?
We'll probably ask him now.
Yep. So Airport Manager Smigelski, we have a question from Commissioners Peterson and Kozlowski. So one of you, if you could address the question for him to answer, please.
Yeah, LS Concrete, runway repair, concrete and delivery. $4,700, $4,710, excuse me.
This is what the deer looked like.
See if you're on mute. Steve, we're not hearing your audio.
I'm going to have to cross-check that one with CRTC Civil Engineering. That was probably for some of the splinter spalling that they're having on the edges of the runway.
Okay. Is that under the contract?
No, that'll be under the CRTC contract for touchdown zone repair.
Okay. Well, that'll be reimbursable.
We don't pay anything for that. That's the military is paying for those ends.
It's showing coming out of your budget though.
Oh, that was set 45. My apologies. Yeah, we had ordered a pallet of set 45 concrete repair material. That was for Taxiway Golf. There was some severe spalling that was going on, and CRTC was providing the manpower to do the actual work. So we provided the material.
Okay. Don, you good with that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Okay. Any further discussion on the motion to pay the bills? Hearing none, roll call vote to pay the bills, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes. Motion is carried. We'll pay the bills as submitted. At this time, I'll turn the floor over to our county treasurer, Ms. Ludlow.
Good morning. So at the beginning of this year, you had $3,597,408.09 your unrestricted fund balance. Through October 31st, you've brought in $12,123,432.10 with expenditures of $10,466,791.46, leaving a fund balance at the end of October of $5,254,048.73, of which $268,014 is restricted. Perfect world, we'd be at 83% of our budget. Right now, we've brought in 91% of our budgeted revenue and spent 78% of our budgeted expenditures. Last year at this time, we had received 92%, almost 93% of our revenue, and we had spent 79, almost 80% of our budgeted expenditures. The only thing I'd like to point out is if you look at your comparison sheet, you'll see that right now, year to date, are $1,656,640 ahead, meaning we've brought that much more in than what we've spent. But $1,208.97 of that money is ARPA money. If you had not had that ARPA money, you'd really just be 400,000 ahead for the year. And you can see last year in October, we did not bring any ARPA money in, and for the entire year, we brought in 300,000 for the entire year last year. So that's why you're doing better, and it was done to prop it up your fund balance to help get us through next year. If anyone had any questions.
I'll look for a motion to receive and file the treasurer's monthly report for October.
Make that
I have a
motion.
motion from Commissioner Ludlow. Do I have support? Support. A support from Commissioner LaHaye. Any discussion on the October monthly treasurer's report? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky.
Yeah.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes, the motion is carried. We will receive and file the treasurer's report for October. Anything else, Ms. Ludlow?
Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda is Sergeant Ritter from the Sheriff's Office. Sergeant Ritter, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have two items in front of you today. Action item number 3 is just a request to approve the DNR ORV enforcement grant for $15,000 with no county match, 100% paid by the state of Michigan. Whatever's reimbursed.
Okay. I have a motion from Commissioner Peterson to approve the DNR ORV law enforcement program grant for the Sheriff's Office in the amount of $15,000 with no county match effective October 1st of 2024 through 30 September of 25, and authorize the chairman of the board or the administrator to sign all documents as presented. The committee has approved it. So I have support from Commissioner Konashevsky. Any discussion from the board?
Question that I have is, this is in effect from 1 October through 30 September. When do the funds usually get expensed? Because we're already into 1 month of.
So we usually historically do not spend any money on ORV enforcement between now and the end of the year for that reason alone. We usually don't start up until the end of March or April, depending on weather. Unless something comes up, we have to. We don't put those guys back out this year.
Okay.
So is this part of the snowmobile stuff as well, or just like the ORV in the summer?
ORV's got a different enforcement period than what snowmobile does.
Gotcha.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, think we can just do a yay or a nay on this one. I don't think we need to do roll call, do we? Because we're just asking for to receive the amount or to approve the grant. You know what? Let's just do roll call.
Okay.
Do it the safe place. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Bray? Yes. Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco?
Yes. The item is the motion is carried and the grant application can be accepted. On your second item, please.
Second item is action item number 4. This is also a DNR grant for snowmobile enforcement for 2025. We've been approved for $3,000. This is a 25% match. Correction, a 15% match by the county. So you out of pocket up to $450.
Okay, so I'll look for a motion and support to recommend approval of the FY 25 Snowmobile Law Enforcement Program Grant Agreement for the Sheriff's Office in the amount of $3,000 with an organizational match of $2,550 and a county match of $450, again, effective 1 October of 24 through 30 April of 25. And authorize the chairman of the board of the county administrator to sign all pertaining documents as presented, and the review committee has approved this. So do I have a motion?
I'll make that
I have a motion from Commissioner Ludlow. Do I have support?
I'll support
I support from Commissioner Konashevsky. Roll call vote, please. Oh, excuse me, for any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky? Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Bray? Yeah. Commissioner Francisco?
Yes. Motion is carried. Thank you, Sergeant Ritter.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Next on our agenda is the Director of Emergency Management and E911 Services, Kim Elke. And Kim is asking that the committee recommend approval. She's asking for us to approve the 24-25 Emergency Management Performance Grant Renewal Application in the amount of $4,771 with an in-kind county match of $2,385.50. With revenue posting to line item number 101-426-548.000 as presented. The grant review committee has approved this EMPG renewal application.
I'll make the
I
motion.
have a motion from Commissioner Bray. Do I have support?
I'll support it.
I have support from Commissioner LaHaye. Any discussion on the emergency management performance grant? I see Kim is out in in Zoom land. So Kim, anything that you would like to add before we go through the vote?
Good morning. Thank you for your review this morning, and thank you for covering that, Mr. Chair. No, I don't have anything additional unless anyone has questions for me.
I got a question after Kim, after we vote.
Okay.
Okay, so any further discussion? Any questions for Kim? If not, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Konashevsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski?
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Bray? Yes. Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco?
Yes.
Motion.
Motion is carried. And Commissioner Peterson does have a question,
Hey,
sir.
Kim, on that FEMA grant, I see the email come through.
Yes.
How much was that amount?
It was less than $800, but I'm planning to work on that today.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thanks.
Yep, I'll keep you in the loop.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Okay, next on our agenda is our county administrator, Jesse Osmer. Again, we've pulled the RRS invoice for now, and but he has an update to the amended agenda on the Plaza Pool.
So currently there's a balance, my understanding, of $29,373. The reason that money is in there is because of additional events and services that the Plaza Pool had provided. Because of that, they obviously had more costs for staffing. And so they're just looking for 24,000 of that to be moved into line item 273-774-803-000 contractual help in order to make payroll for the rest of the year. Again, those funds are there because of the additional events and activities, from my understanding. So it's just to cover the payroll from those items.
So I'm looking for a motion. I stand corrected. So are there any other budget adjustments that are not on the agenda to be considered? If not, I'll look for a motion to approve the one budget adjustment for the Plaza Pool to move some of their $24,000 into line item 273-774.0803.000. Do I have a motion for that budget adjustment?
Make that motion.
I have a motion from Commissioner Konashevsky. Do I have support?
I'll support.
And support from Commissioner Ludlow. Discussion on the Plaza Pool budget adjustment. Questions? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you. We have approved the budget adjustment. At this point in the meeting, the finance portion is concluded. I will look at, I'm asking for a motion to rise.
Budget adjustment.
There is the next item. You have item 12 with the sheet of regular budget adjustments that were set.
Okay, okay. Doesn't show on the agenda. That's why I had to ask, are there any other budget adjustments that are not on the agenda? So,
When I'm looking at board book, it shows,
Three attachments, airport, 911.
okay,
Yeah, like four of them.
okay. Yeah, not on the printed copy, and I was trying to click down the printed copy. Okay, so we can take those as a bundle. There are 4 budget adjustments that are on the electronic agenda. Just, back out of that just for a moment. The first one is a budget adjustment from the clerk's office. My bifocals are not powerful enough, so I have to adjust those. So give me just a moment. Okay, so the first one is from the clerk's office. The clerk is asking for approval to decrease the budgeted amount in expense line item 101-261-956.000 election expenses by $420 and to increase the budgeted amount in expense line item number 101-262-725.000 the Board of Canvassers by $340 and expense the line item number 101-262-860.000 travel expense by $80 as presented. Look for a motion and support to approve that budget adjustment.
I'll make the
I
motion.
have a motion from Commissioner Kozlowski. Do I have support?
Support.
I have support from Commissioner Peterson. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, thank you. The next budget adjustment is for 911, recommending approval of a budget adjustment in the amount of $98,350 from the 911 fund balance of 261-000-390.000 with the increase to line item numbers as follows. 261-325-702.000 dispatchers, $74,000. Line item 261-325-709.000 Social Security, $2,600. Line item 261-325-711.000 Medicare, $700. Line item 261-325-712.000 in lieu of hospitalization. Line item number 261-325-716.000 MERS Defined Contribution Plan, $4,000. Line item 261-325-717.000 MERS Defined Benefit, $8,100. Line item number 261-325-724.018, the HSA account of $6,550 for a total of $98,350. Look for a motion and support to approve that budget adjustment.
Make the
I
motion.
have a motion from Commissioner Peterson. Support, please.
I'll support.
Support from Commissioner Bray. Roll call, please.
Do we have
Oh,
discussion?
sorry, discussion. Yes, I'm
Do you have
sorry.
anything you wanted to add with this, Kim, or all these?
this is from Kim Elke, and this has to do with they don't have enough money budgeted in their payroll to cover payroll for the rest of the year.
Is there enough money where it's coming from?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, where she's pulling, because it's their fund balance, and they do have it available in their fund balance.
Okay.
Yep.
So I did have a question because I looked at this and it looks like last year or this year, we were budgeted for 442,000 for payroll, which was 21,000 less than the previous year, which would then put the total increase 52,000 higher. So what happened with the budgeting on that?
So what I can tell you is, I'm not sure where those numbers came from last year, but they didn't come from our office. And earlier this year, right away in January, I had to come and request a budget adjustment because I had a 0 overtime budget for the year. So I have been keeping an eye on it, through the year to see, how it was gonna go, but we don't have enough money in payroll to finish the year. So part of why if you'll notice, our overtime is down significantly this year. We have a part-time irregular dispatcher working with us, so when she works to cover an empty shift, it comes out of regular time instead of out of overtime.
So when when budgets were turned in, the amount that was budgeted for FY '22 was not high enough for the budget for this fiscal year.
For
So-
24, right. I'm not sure where it came from.
Yeah,
I didn't
so-
submit that number, but this is just what we need to adjust from our own fund balance. None of that's from the general fund. That's from the 911 fund balance, and that should cover us for the rest of the year.
And the only reason I noticed it was because it looked like every year the amount was going up, and then this year it actually went down significantly.
So again, in when the 23 or 24 budget was being put together, it was done the quote unquote old way where department heads were not allowed to put any employee or salary cost in the budget. And it was pushed and carried over from payroll. And so this year you guys are trying to do kind of a hybrid to try and get it closer. But that's where those number would have come from before. They'd have been pushed across from payroll rather than from the department head.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any further discussion on the 911 budget adjustment for payroll? If not, I already have a motion and support. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. And the final budget adjustment is from the airport, recommending approval to transfer $2,000 from the line item 295-595-729.001, 100 Lima LL purchase currently at $9,278.23 into line item number 295-595-708.000 overtime wages. Look for a motion and support.
Make a
I
motion.
have a motion from Commissioner Peterson. Do I have support?
I'll support it.
I have support from Commissioner LaHaye. Any discussion on the budget adjustment for the airport as indicated?
Steve, is that from Meisley Mick?
Yes, we've had some turnover again out here. Two of the new guys that we hired, they got fired almost right away for neglecting their duties. So now Mick is spending more time out on the weekends fueling aircraft.
Okay, thanks.
Steve, I do have a question that I want to talk to you, but I'll talk to you afterwards about
Okay.
it.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, now I will ask, I don't think there's any other budget adjustments or any other items for the finance meeting. I'll ask for a motion and support to rise and report to close the finance portion of the meeting.
I'll make the move.
I have a motion from Commissioner LaHaye. Do I have support?
Support.
Support from Commissioner Ludlow. Any discussion? If not, all in favor of motion to rise and report indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is carried and the finance portion of the meeting is closed. I will turn it over to our board chairman.
Okay, the first thing we have on this part of the agenda is the consent calendars. I assumed everybody has taken a chance to look at the items on the consent calendar. Is there anything that anybody would like to discuss? If not, I'd look for a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Ledlow,
I'll support.
support by Commissioner Bray. Any discussion? If not, I'd look for a roll call.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next item we have is resolution 24-28, authorization to execute the airport sponsor contracts. Motion to a recommendation to adopt, resolution 24-28, authorization to execute the airport sponsor contracts as presented. And look for a motion on that.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 24-28.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Francisco,
I'll support.
support by Commissioner Konashevsky. Any discussion? Any discussion? With that, I would, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Next item is the county administrator evaluation. Add personnel. So just so you know, when I did, I'm going to admit this, I took the wrong number. So his total added up higher. But at personnel, we did the evaluation with the county administrator. His overall, I don't know, did you just give me this or does anyone have this? Okay. So this was the overall scoring for each item. What I did was instead of taking 8 questions, I took 9 questions, so that lowered his.
Okay.
So, we got everyone's information in and we tallied the scores. We talked to Jesse at personnel overall. I mean, his overall score was a 4.45, which I think is pretty good for his first evaluation. Everybody had an opportunity. We did have, I don't, did we get Bill's?
Nope, I didn't. I didn't.
But Commissioner Bray did ask because she's only been here for a short period, so excused her from having to do this. Again, like I said, everyone had an opportunity. The comments were good. Valuable feedback for, I think, for Jesse to work on. So I think overall, that's a pretty good score. Did anyone have any comments or questions regarding this?
Hope you answered mine.
Okay. Okay. What was the question?
Well, from the 3.9 that we had from the personnel committee meeting and how it changed, but you made that explanation
Add a
without asking
little
the question.
water, let it
Yeah, there
go.
So I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So do we have to make a motion on this? Or we did it, I think I. Okay. Okay, so I guess more of an informational, and then when do we do the next one? In another 6 months?
After this, it would go to, I believe every November.
Okay. So there's that. So moving on to the next item, which is the poll vote for the open enrollment 2025 healthcare benefits, which is informational. We had a poll vote. And all the information is there for the different union contracts or unions, 911 district court, CAM, corrections, TPOM, deputies, non-union. And did we get the last 2 votes that were needed on that?
Yes.
Mine vote yes too.
Okay.
I think there is one small change. It should be paid over 24 pay periods, not 26 for the match.
24 pay periods.
We
Yeah.
can pay 20.
I know, but the health benefits only come out 24 pays. There's 2 months that we have 3 pay periods.
Okay, so we just need to, so with that, I guess with that change, I just want to make sure that everyone's good with this. So I just look for, do we need a roll call? Well, just do a roll call on that.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Peterson.
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco.
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky.
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Oh, we didn't have a motion, though, did we?
That was the poll vote, sorry.
Full vote. Can someone do a motion?
I'll make the motion as amended to the 24 pay period.
I'll support that.
Okay. You want to do the roll call again, or you?
I think we're good.
Okay, all right. Moving on to the next item, County Administrator Jesse Osmer.
So according to section 3, part H of our contract with MMP, and in compliance with state law, we have to form this planning committee. Each of the committees put forth nominations, and then this was basically the results of those nominations. So we just have to basically pass this resolution and solidify it. Our counterparts in other counties are doing the same thing.
Okay, so I'd look for a motion to approve or recommend the approval for the final management planning committee as recommended by the Northeast Michigan Council of Governments at their October 11th, 2024 meeting as presented. And do you go to those, Bill?
Yep, our first meeting will be the 22nd of this month.
Okay. Okay, so I'd look for a motion for that.
I'll make the motion to approve the final MMP committee as recommended.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Francisco,
I'll support.
support by Commissioner Peterson. All those, any questions on that? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, next item, Jesse.
So this is something that we do every year. We opt out of PA 152. And it basically just sets the custom employee contributions fund. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's just a process that we go through every year in order to solidify that into our negotiations and contracts with the employees.
Okay, so I've looked for a recommendation or a motion to approve the recommendation to opt out of PA 152 for 2025 and set custom employee contribution amounts.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Bray,
I'll support.
support by Commissioner Commissioner Konashevsky. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion passed. And the last item under you, Jesse, is the APN SRE equipment purchase.
Long-awaited purchase of some snowplows. So those are both attached. Again, kind of self-explanatory. The numbers are all there. So if there's any detailed questions, I guess I would have to turn that over to Steve. But again, this is just in follow-up to previous discussions.
Okay, so I'd look for a motion to approve the recommendation to approve the equipment purchase for the agreement for 2 snowplow trucks for the airport in the amount of $1,522,272 and authorize the chairman of the board to sign as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Commissioner LaHaye. Support by Commissioner Ludlow. Any further discussion or any questions for Steve? So the question that I would have, Steve, is, so once we approve this, this sets the, I guess, the purchase in motion, or at least gets it moving. So what would be the expected date if this gets approved, if we approve this today?
Well, it normally takes about a year for them to construct the equipment, so I would not anticipate seeing the new trucks on site until probably, if it was anything like the runway sweeper, we ordered them at about the same time of year from the same company, and they showed up in June.
June of the fall, so you're talking a year and a half, potentially?
No, it should be about a year.
Well, we're in November, so a year would be, oh, you're saying when you ordered the sweeper, it was about a year?
Yes. Yeah, they
Okay.
were saying about a year for delivery, but we ended up actually getting it physically on site at the end of May.
Okay, okay. So if no other questions, I'd look for, actually, we'll do a roll call on this one.
Commissioner Bray? Yes. Commissioner Peterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco?
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky? Commissioner LaHaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow?
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowski? Motion carried.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Next up, we have public comment. Anyone for public comment this morning? Anyone on Zoom? So we'll,
Hey, Chairman, I'd like to make an announcement.
okay,
Now that we know that the board has to appoint a commissioner for District Number 2, I would like to announce that I am submitting my application in for that position. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll close the public comment. And then we'll move into closed session. We'll move into closed session to discuss union negotiations, personnel matter, and litigation.
Commissioner Kozlowski,
Here,
Commissioner Konashevsky.
I guess we're all here. Okay, so we have two motions. So the first motion,
First motion, Chairman, will be to move forward to accept the contracts for TPOAM as presented for ratification.
I'll make that motion.
we have a motion. Actually, we did talk. So is it okay for him to, Dan? Because of having a,
Oh, his son being a union member and representative, basically.
The board's aware of it. He could recuse himself, but
Close myself.
I'll support.
okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Konashevsky, support by Commissioner Peterson. Any
What is the motion?
so the motion,
is to move forward to accept the contracts for TPOAM as presented for ratification. So the union contract.
are you good with that? Okay, do a roll call.
Commissioner Bray,
Yes.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes.
Commissioner Francisco,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow.
Recused.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes, okay. Motion passed. Next item or next motion,
Next motion would be to approve the recommendation, to approve the recommended course of action by the attorney in the matter of Smolinski versus County of Alpena.
okay, so I'm looking for a motion on that.
That motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Ludlow,
I'll support the motion.
support by Commissioner Francisco. We've already discussed it, so roll call, please.
Commissioner Peterson,
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Francisco,
Yes.
Commissioner Konashevsky,
Yes.
Commissioner LaHaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Ludlow,
Yes.
Commissioner Bray. Yes. Commissioner Kozlowski.
Yes,
Motion carried.
okay. Any final comments by the board?
Motion to adjourn.
I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Peterson, a second by Commissioner Bray. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're
Yes, you got any time?